Hey, Caitlin! Can you make it from there? Hey, Caitlin, how about from here?
Come on, guys.
Yeah, she can't make it from there.
No chance.
Caitlin, conmigo, let.
You got it. I'm not even gonna ask.
Hey, Caitlin from here might be impressive. Am I right?
Whatever, Che.
So right here.
From there!
From anywhere.
All right, well, looks like she can do it.
In the world headquarters.
Boom!
Caitlin Clark logo all
Don't
over
go
the
get
place. Now what I want to show you here is Asia Wilson's commercial, and I'm going to play Caitlin Clark's commercial right after that, just to show you the difference between the two. Let's take a look.
Asia Wilson's on top.
40 years apart, the timing tells its own story. On December 25th, 1985, Nike introduced Michael Jordan to the world with his first Christmas commercial for the Air Jordan for Chicago. Exactly 40 years later, on December 25th, 2024, Nike unveiled Caitlin Clark's From Anywhere campaign. That kind of symmetry is never accidental with Nike. Dates like these are chosen with intent. But here's what's being overlooked. Another Nike athlete also received a commercial this year, and when you compare the two campaigns, the contrast is impossible to ignore.
Right? All Nike did for that is just take a song everybody knows and just put in new words. No creativity involved at all. They're just going to take a song that everybody knows, patty cake, whatever the fuck song that is, and they're just going to change some words and put Asia Wilson in there, okay? And then we have Caitlin Clark's commercial.
Hey, Caitlin! Can you make it from there? Hey, Caitlin!
Let's actually unpack what you just saw. Aja Wilson's commercial takes a nursery rhyme that everyone on the planet already knows, swaps in her name, tweaks a few words, and that's essentially the entire idea. Patty cake, baker's man. Now it's Aja Wilson, cue the beat. End scene. That's the full creative arc. In contrast, Caitlin Clark's commercial is layered and intentional. It features Travis and Jason Kelce, Travis Scott, Michael Che from Saturday Night Live, her longtime college coach Lisa Bluter, and her current coach Stephanie White. It opens in a driveway, a direct nod to where she spent countless childhood hours shooting. There are Easter eggs everywhere, from references to her AAU team, The Attack, to the boys' team wearing Attack jerseys. One campaign reflects real creative effort and storytelling. The other feels like something approved quickly and rushed out without much thought.
I live in a development. Imagine being one of the neighbors on this block, and you just turn to your right. Look at that car pulling up. Here we go. Pulling. Like, look at that car pulling up, getting ready to turn into their driveway, and then out of nowhere they see a Nike van here, a Nike van there, commercial crew here, commercial crew there, and then in like your neighbor's house, two houses down in their driveway, you're like, is that Kayla? Well, what's she doing here?
Think about the level of coordination that kind of production requires. You're not just filming a quick spot, you're shutting down an entire residential street. Nike trucks everywhere, full commercial crews, lighting rigs, cameras, and one of the biggest stars in women's basketball shooting in a real driveway, just a couple houses away from regular families. Neighbors are probably peeking through their windows thinking, wait, is that Caitlin Clark? What's going on? That kind of effort doesn't happen by accident. It signals something deliberate. Nike isn't simply producing a commercial here. They're making a statement about who receives the full, no-expense-spared Michael Jordan-level treatment and who gets a concept that feels designed to be finished before lunch.
Hey, Caitlin, how about from here?
Come on, guys.
Yeah, she can't make it from there.
No chance.
Caitlin, conmigo, let.
You got it. I'm not even gonna ask.
Hey, Caitlin from here might be impressive. Am I right?
Whatever, Che.
So right here.
From there!
from anywhere.
Now, if you can tell that one of these commercials actually took thought planning and the other one just took, let's just slap this together because she threw a fit about her shoe not coming out in time. Let's just throw this shit together and push it out there. I don't know what to tell you.
From anywhere. That's the tagline. That's the entire marketing hook. It's the kind of phrase that immediately sticks, the kind people start repeating without even thinking about it. And that's exactly what's happening. TikTok is already full of fans recreating the idea. Can you make it from here? From there? From anywhere? It's simple, it's memorable, and it connects perfectly to what makes Caitlin Clark unique as a player. Her range is her identity. Now compare that to the Aja Wilson commercial. What's the tagline? What's the phrase you're supposed to remember when it ends? There isn't one. It's just Aja Wilson doing basketball drills while a tweaked nursery rhyme plays in the background. No clear campaign, no lasting concept, no cultural moment being built.
Think Air Jordan this season. By Nike.
Now, as you know, the Caitlin Clark commercial aired during the football games on Netflix, aired during the basketball games on ESPN, ABC. The Nike commercial came at the perfect time as far as Christmas release goes. Yes.
Here's where the timing really matters. Caitlin Clark's commercial drops on Christmas Day 2024, exactly 40 years after Nike aired Michael Jordan's first holiday commercial for the Air Jordan 1 Chicago. That 1985 spot showed Jordan alongside Santa, wearing the now iconic black and red colorway, and it marked the beginning of the most successful signature shoe line in sports history. Nike doesn't choose dates like that randomly. They're drawing a clear, intentional line between Jordan and Clark. It's not subtle and it's not accidental. They're telling you very directly how valuable they believe she is to the brand. But here's where the rollout stumbles. The commercial itself is outstanding. The buzz is real. The cultural moment is happening in real time. And yet, there's no signature shoe available to buy. We're in late December watching this campaign take off, while Clark's actual signature shoe isn't expected to release until sometime between late April and early May. That's a 4 to 5 month gap between creating massive demand and delivering the product people want. Nike did drop some merchandise alongside the campaign, so this wasn't a total execution failure. Still, imagine how much revenue is being left on the table by not having that shoe ready for Christmas, when excitement and spending are at their absolute peak.
All the past commercials they've dropped over the last 5 to 10 years, this Caitlin Clark From Anywhere campaign seems to be the most creative that Nike has been throughout that time span. However, something was brought to my attention. 40 years prior, another superstar had a commercial for Christmas Day. 40 years prior,
Let's step back and talk about what creativity in advertising actually means, because the Caitlin Clark Nike commercial isn't just another polished sports ad. It represents something Nike hasn't truly delivered in years, a concept that feels intentional, thoughtful, and culturally aware instead of formulaic. For the better part of the last decade, Nike's commercials have followed a very predictable blueprint. You know the formula by heart. A celebrity athlete trains hard. Slow-motion shots of sweat, focus, and intensity fill the screen. Inspirational music swells. A motivational voiceover reminds you to believe in yourself. The swoosh appears. Fade to black. End commercial. It works, but it's safe, repetitive, and increasingly forgettable. The Caitlin Clark commercial breaks that cycle completely. It doesn't rely on generic inspiration. It uses humor. It uses self-awareness. Most importantly, it uses authenticity. Every cameo in that ad makes sense because those people are actually part of Caitlin Clark's real-world story. Travis and Jason Kelce aren't random celebrity inserts. She's appeared on their podcast. Michael Che, formerly of Saturday Night Live, works because Caitlin herself appeared on SNL. These aren't marketing inventions. They're organic connections woven into a creative narrative. That's what real creativity looks like. It's not just high production value. It's not just good cinematography. It's a concept that understands the athlete as a cultural figure, not just a jersey number. Nike didn't just sell Caitlin Clark as a basketball player. They sold her as a personality, a moment, and a movement. Now compare that to the commercial Nike produced for Aja Wilson. This is where the contrast becomes uncomfortable. Aja Wilson is a two-time MVP, a champion, and one of the most dominant players the WNBA has ever seen. On the court, her resume speaks for itself. But the commercial she received feels like the kind of thing you make when a deadline is looming and the creative team is out of ideas. Take a familiar song, tweak the lyrics, overlay some basketball footage, and call it a day. It's not offensive. It's just forgettable. And that difference matters. This isn't about pitting athletes against each other or questioning Aja Wilson's greatness. It's about Nike's creative investment and what it signals. One athlete received months of planning, a fully original concept, location scouting for a specific driveway, coordination with multiple A-list celebrities, and a tagline designed to live beyond the commercial itself. The other received a campaign that could have been conceptualized, filmed, and edited in a week. Commercials don't lie. Production budgets don't lie. Creative ambition doesn't lie. You can release as many press statements as you want about commitment to women's sports, equality, and growing the game. But when the work hits the screen, the truth is obvious. Nike treated Caitlin Clark like a franchise-defining athlete. They treated Aja Wilson like an obligation they needed to check off a list. That distinction becomes even more glaring when you look at placement. The Caitlin Clark commercial aired during NFL games on Netflix and NBA games on ESPN and ABC. Christmas Day, prime real estate. On the exact 40-year anniversary of Michael Jordan's first festive Air Jordan commercial in 1985. That's not coincidence. That's a deliberate historical callback. Nike is very clearly drawing a line from Jordan to Clark and telling the audience, this is our next generational bet. That's the same level of reverence, patience, and belief Nike showed Jordan at the beginning of what became a 40-year dynasty. The Air Jordan line now generates over $5 billion annually. When Nike drops a Caitlin Clark commercial on the same day, 4 decades later, they're not being subtle. They're making a statement about how they see her future impact on their business. Meanwhile, Aja Wilson has been vocal about her frustration with her signature shoe timeline, and she has every right to be. She's earned that platform. But Nike's response wasn't to match the creative treatment they gave Caitlin Clark. It was to rush out a commercial that feels more like appeasement than celebration. That's a telling decision. And here's where the rollout problem comes in. The Caitlin Clark commercial is incredible. The hype is real. The cultural moment is happening right now. People are recreating the from anywhere concept on TikTok. The phrase is catching on organically. That's what happens when you invest in a creative idea instead of just fulfilling a contractual requirement. You create something that lives beyond a 30-second spot and becomes part of the broader conversation. But despite all that momentum, there's no signature shoe to buy. The Caitlin Clark shoe won't drop until late April or early May. That's a 4 to 5 month gap between peak demand and product availability. Nike did release some accompanying merchandise, so it's not a total fumble, but imagine the revenue they left on the table by not having that shoe ready for Christmas. This was a moment built for immediate conversion, and the product simply wasn't there. From a business perspective, Nike's logic is easy to understand. They invest where they see the highest return. The Caitlin Clark commercial cost more because they believe she'll sell at a level that justifies it. The Aja Wilson commercial cost less because their internal projections likely suggest a lower return. That's capitalism, not charity. But here's where it gets tricky for Nike. By making that disparity so visible, they've created a narrative problem. You can't credibly claim equal investment in your WNBA athletes when the commercials look like they came from entirely different companies. You can't talk about growing women's basketball while so clearly putting your creative eggs in one basket. Even if the business math makes sense, the optics are rough. And those optics matter because other brands are watching, other athletes are watching. This sets a precedent. Market value determines creative investment, and creative investment determines cultural impact. That's the message Nike is sending, whether they intend to or not. Now, the real test comes in late April or early May when Caitlin Clark's shoe finally drops. If Nike executes properly, all this built-up demand could explode into massive sales. If not, they'll have squandered one of the strongest cultural setups they've created in years. Either way, the comparison is already locked in. Every future WNBA Nike commercial will be measured against this moment. Michael Jordan's first Christmas commercial in 1985 launched a legacy that reshaped sports, fashion, and culture. By mirroring that moment 40 years later, Nike is betting that Caitlin Clark is the next athlete capable of doing something similar in her own era. Whether that bet pays off remains to be seen, but one thing is already clear. When you put these two commercials side by side, there's no confusion about which athlete Nike believes is worth the full creative investment. And that visible disparity is going to shape conversations about WNBA marketing, brand equity, and athlete value for years to come. So, the real question becomes this: is Nike right to concentrate that level of creative power behind one athlete based purely on projected market value? Or should they be putting equal creative effort behind all their WNBA stars, regardless of sales forecasts? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this conversation is far from over. And if you want more deep dives like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're just getting warmed up.